this video is going to be a good one because you're going to find that as I go through these rookie mistakes, you might find yourself in a couple of them. And then you begin to understand exactly why you're not finding the success that you're actually looking for. But that's okay, because you can always correct these things and be able to obtain the success you want. All right, so if this is your first time here joining Uncle P on his Sunday video, let me go through the agenda so you will see exactly how we do it. We don't just rush through, do a 2-minute video and then let you scoot on. And no, I actually take my time to try to educate you on the mistakes that rookies make, because I made plenty of them. And I see that tons and tons of traders across the globe are making mistakes. I also like to do Sunday videos just to teach and educate people to help your journey be a lot less hurtful than mine was. So let me go through our Sunday agenda so you'll see exactly what we do. So one, we're going to be talking, number one, we're going to talk about the signals results. I'll go over that. Also, I'll give you the update on the new software so that you'll be aware of that. Then we're going to talk about these rookie mistakes. And at the end, you want to stay until the end, because the war in Ukraine is going on, and some of you guys do not understand which currencies are being impacted, and you keep trying to trade them the wrong direction, okay? So I'm going to talk about the currency pairs that you need to be aware of and how they're affecting your trading. Many people lost a lot of money since the war began because they're looking for the same routines, but the market is not doing the same routine because of the war. And there are, again, some currency pairs that are moving in certain directions because of the war. So we got to be careful of those. I'll go over that towards the end. Okay, that's the agenda. Let's get started. First of all, for the signals report, just to get that out of the way, for those who are in the signals, who is interested in the signal service, I did post in the group the results. We had, for the signal side, we had 14 wins and only 4 losses. Okay, 14-4, great week. And then for the scalping group with Miss Jenny, they made 15,282 pips. Okay, 15,282 pips. So as you can see, just because the market is having problems don't mean that everybody's having problems. Okay, that's why today's lesson is going to be very vital for you to understand how to move away from some of these rookie mistakes so that you can improve your winning percentage. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, I've got to write this down so that you guys, I want to talk about one of my students towards the end so you can kind of get the gist and understand. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So that's the signals group. As far as the update, the new software is going to be banging. It's really going to help a lot of you traders out there. I always try to do more than what's necessary to help you guys. So that's what's taking a little bit longer with my team. And it should be about next week. Okay. So I'll keep you up to speed on that. All right. Next, let's go through the steps. Okay. Get a pen and piece of paper so that you can write these things down, because I guarantee as I'm going through this list of rookie mistakes, many of you guys are going to say, oh my God, yeah, that is me. And what's good about these videos, it helps you to look introspectively without anybody looking directly at you. Okay, it allows for you to actually look within yourself and say, is this really a mistake that I'm making? And have I been doing this for a long time? And this could be the reason why I'm not finding the success that I've been looking for. Okay, and here's the good news. This is not a beat down conversation, because every single trader that I know of, even on many, and I know a lot of professional traders, it doesn't matter. Everybody went through the same thing. So that doesn't mean that you need to quit or whatever. It just means that you need to work on you in order to improve what you're seeing on these charts and your results. Okay, let's go through number one. Number one, here it is. Hope you have a pen and paper. This is critical. This is critical. If you don't hear nothing else, this one alone is going to help you feel better. Okay. Number one, stop blaming yourself for every trade that don't work out. I'm going to repeat that again. Stop blaming yourself for every trade that don't work out. I cannot tell you the untold number of traders who take every trade personal. One of the problems is you're trying to replace your current income or make an income from the markets, and therefore every trade becomes an emotional life and death trade. Now, you don't say this to nobody, but that's the way you feel. So you're elated and excited when you actually win a trade. but you feel down in the dumps, and some of you guys are dealing with depression because of trading. And that's because you blame yourself for every trade. And let me explain this so we're very clear. A professional trader blames the markets, or it doesn't blame anybody at all. They just say, okay, on to the next one. As I teach my students in class, some will, some won't. So what? Move on. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Some will, some won't. So what? Move on. One more time. Some will, some won't. So what? Move on. This is what you have to repeat to yourself when you lose a trade, because what happens is that in this market, especially now because of the war that's interrupting all global markets across the board, not just the Forex market, what happens is that you have your hopes and dreams tied to your Forex trading career, correct? Yes, of course, we all do. And so therefore, because of our hopes and dreams being tied to it, that raises our level of emotional connection to every trade that it's taken and played out. And when it wins, we feel good about ourselves. Notice what I'm saying. Watch what I'm saying. You feel good about yourself. And when you lose a trade, you feel bad about who? Yourself. But realistically, when you look at these charts, it ain't nothing but candlesticks that's just jumping around like leaping frogs. The candlesticks don't care nothing about you. The candlesticks don't know anything about you. So how did this become so personal? It's because your hopes and your dreams are tied to this market. Your hopes and dreams of financial freedom is tied to this. So you have a lot more stake in the game than the market itself. The market is just bouncing up and down. It's just doing what it's been doing long before you was even born. It's just doing what it does. But for you, every loss is a blow to your dream. I told you this is going to be a good video. I told you. And nobody on the internet, as far as I know, ever does videos about this stuff. And yet almost every trader on the planet, almost every retail trader on the planet is dealing with this. And yet nobody talks about this. Nobody. And this is real. This is why you're spending hours upon hours upon hours on them charts. Because at one point, you're feeling emotionally destroyed. But on the other hand, you keep saying, but I know I can do this and I can find financial freedom. And I can see that right there, the second half, the financial freedom. I know I can find financial freedom if I can just, and and that ties your emotions into the trade. When in essence, the market is non-emotional. And let me say this, the sooner you drift into the range of not being emotional over these trades, the faster you're going to find the success you're looking for. Let me give you an example. One of the traders that I admire the most, okay, and I know tons of traders, tons. Right on, Slim. Slim said he joined, he come to class on Tuesday too, Slim, so I can say hi to you. He said he got the trading system, simplicity, and on yesterday. So yeah, make sure you just go through the tutorials, take your time, and bottom line is on Tuesday, I'll be in class. So I would love to say hi to you. By the way, for those who's interested, when you buy the simplicity system, my classes are free. The only reason I do it that way is so that when we're going over charts and setups and I'm talking with you, we have the same tools that we're looking at. If you're trading the market maker's method, but I'm talking about this over here, with our trading system, it doesn't work. Get what I'm saying? So that's all I ask. If you want to get personal training from me, just buy the simplicity system and come to class. You know, I don't charge nothing for class. Somebody emailed me the other day, how much you charge for personal mentorship? Absolutely nothing, because there's nothing I'm going to say to you on a personal level, one-to-one, charging you extra money that I'm not going to teach and talk to you about in class. All you have to do is just raise your hand during class. I'd spend hours every week in class. As long as people have questions, I typically stay back behind the answer. So we still going to talk. So just buy the trading system and come to class. I don't charge extra for that stuff. But I just need to make sure that we have the same trading system so we can be on the same page. That's all it is. So make sure to come to class on Tuesday, okay? All right, let me get back to this. I want to share with you one of the persons I really admire, even though they don't know I admire them so much. And that's my own son. It's in the classes are in the tutorial steps in the printout. So once you purchase the system, that's why don't skip steps, you guys. Make sure to go through the tutorial steps, and in the printout, it has in the manual, it's right there saying what time the classes are, okay? And I do record them for playback because I do know some people, I have global clients who cannot attend, so I do record it and put in the notification channel so you can play the class back at any time you wish. Let me say this. One of the students I admire the most is actually my own son. He doesn't even realize how much I really admire him. My son, PJ, who I had as a special guest a couple of times on my classes, my students know, even when you hear him talk, it's like it's just a freaking game to him. And he's the one who taught me this. He said that when he trades, it's like a video game to him. Now, he used to do MMA fighting, used to do boxing, used to do a lot of things. And to him, it's nothing more than just a freaking game. And because of his perspective, he's having a great and wonderful time with trading. Calls me all the time, hey, Dad, and this and this. As a matter of fact, he's the one, and which, by the way, we just shot a video and put it into tutorial steps, an additional strategy. We just did that last week on the D1 and the D15 and D30 strategy. That was him. See, he's so relaxed when it comes to the charts, and it's nothing personal. He just play it like it's a game. So he's the one who created the strategy, the trend trading strategy of the D1, D15, or D30, whichever time frame you choose. But that video is in the back office. That came from him. He's working on another strategy, and it's just games to him. It's nothing personal. And that's your original problem. Before we go any further into rookie mistakes, the reason why he's having such a great time is because it's not personal. When you talk to professional traders, every trade is not personal. Now let me be clear. It doesn't mean that every trader, when you lose a trade, you ain't gonna feel some kind of way. Of course you feel some kind of way, but you don't, how can I put this? You don't define yourself by the trade. You define the trade by the trade. So in other words, here's how it looks for a professional trader, okay? Who puts a lot of money on the line on a trade. And when that trade don't work out, we'll be like, oh my goodness, dang it. God, look at these markets. And then they go back to their routine and place another trade when the market presents an opportunity. But here's what it sounds like from a retail trader. Oh my God, I notice the difference. I can't seem to get nothing right. I'm so freaking dumb. Why is it that everybody else seems to be making money and I'm not making money? Notice the difference in the conversation. I will say it again so that you will see the difference and you'll see your original flaw. And if we don't fix this, I can go through the other ones, but it's still not going to work because this is the original issue. It has to be what I call a separation factor. You have to learn to separate you from these markets because the markets have already separated you from them. The markets don't care nothing about you. They don't know your name. They don't know anything. Okay? Nothing. Even your broker don't know you. That's the reason why when you contact your broker, they need you to submit your name, what your email address and phone. They don't know you personally. Nothing about this business is personal. It's just business. You see that I say it all the time. When they be killing people in the movies, oh man, it ain't nothing personal, it's just business. And then they just take people out. You seen that stuff before? Well, it's the same thing with the markets. The markets are just trying to take you out. It ain't nothing personal, it's just business. But to you, it's personal. And so for the professional traders, these freaking markets, oh my God, I can't, oh my God, oh my goodness. See, who did they say was to blame? The markets. But the retail trader says, I can't seem to get it right. I can't see. Why is it that everybody else is making money, but I can't see? Notice you making it about you. And until you flip the switch on your psychology in this and realize this is just a freaking game and everybody's just trying to play to win, you will never be detached from it. So here's my first suggestion. Take your dream off the table of financial freedoms and I know this is going to hurt, but I'm telling you it's going to help. Take your dreams off the table of financial freedom. Take your dream of quitting your job off the table. Take all of that off. That can come later. But for now, it's adding too much pressure on you for every trade to be a winner or a loser. But the moment you detach yourself and your dreams from this here, I think you'll begin to see the markets for what it is. And every trade won't be so detrimental to your health and well-being. And now you're climbing over the fence to the other side of where successful traders live, because it's nothing personal to them. It's just business. If this has helped you, please type in number 1 in the box. I want to make sure you guys are following and tracking with me. I don't know why there's so many books on the market talking about market psychology, but not a single one is really talking about this. Because the truth of the matter is, and that's why I like doing my videos, I'm not in front of an audience, because the truth of the matter is, it gives you a chance to really look within inside yourself without somebody looking directly in your eyes and not making you feel guilty or make you, raise your hand in the room and you got to raise your hand in front of everybody to say, yes, that is me. No, not in here. It's just, this is just you. I don't even know your name. Even what name you have, it could be made up. I don't know, but it gives you the luxury to really say, is Uncle P telling some truth up in here? Because it's the truth. And every trader has to climb over this fence. You're not the only one, boo. That's why I can talk so good about it, because you're not the only one. Let me close this shade real quick. Hold on. See the light bouncing around. You're not the only one. I'm just the only one who seems to admit it. You understand what I'm saying? All these other traders, they flash stuff and they do this and this, but they didn't admit that this was part of their journey too. Unless they were like PJ and it was just a freaking video game to them. And, that's the reason why they didn't go through some of these levels. They started off with a good mentality. PJ called me the other day and he's working on this strategy because he likes, he's always out and about. So he's working on a strategy now that where he can trade on the go. And he said, yeah, Dad, I had 30 trades and no losses. And all I did was trade gold. And I know exactly what it's going to do because I only trade that one pair. And so I know what it's going to do. And I've taken 30 trades and no losses yet. And And then I put in a small amount and I withdrew it already. And then I'm starting with the house money. And see, everything about what he's saying is just so bubbly. It's just fun to him. But that's why he's succeeding. He doesn't have pressure on him. He doesn't use it as a way of escaping reality. It's just a game. Okay? All right. Let's get to number 2. Number 2 is very important. Number 2 is stop looking for the holy grail of trading. It does not exist. I'm going to repeat that again. Stop searching for the holy grail of trading. It does not exist. Trust Uncle P on that one. I've been doing this for years, and I have thousands upon thousands of indicators. Thousands of them. EAs, expert advisors, where it auto trades for you. I got tons of that stuff. The market wiggles its butt. It is what it is. And when the market wiggles its butt, sometimes you're going to lose trades. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I'll give you an example. For those who tuned into my video last Sunday, see, and what I like, I do videos and I tell you stuff and I don't take the video down whether I'm right or wrong. But you got to admit when I'm right, I'm right. For an example, I told you guys about oil last week on last week's video. And I said, and I showed you, I said, you see it was doing that double top thing. And you remember those who watched it. And I said, you see it's doing that double top thing. And I said, don't trust these markets right now. Come on now. This is the TRUTH. I told y'all. And I said, be careful. And I told y'all, and I warned you about how these pairs and how the markets are playing out. Lo and behold, when the market opened on Sunday and that oil market opened, shot right through all boundaries. All the way up to 120 something a barrel. And that was when it was at 113 or whatever the number was. Go back and look at the video from just last week. I told you guys. I said, I don't trust these setups. And I told you to creep into them. Don't go full force on these trades, because while the war is going on, the markets are completely out of order. And that's why towards the end, I'm going to go over certain currency pairs that you need to pay attention to this week. And because they're being highly impacted and affected by what's going on with the war. So as I go through those currency pairs, some of you guys, you're going to be like, yeah, that's the ones I was actually losing money on. Exactly. See, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. So when I'm giving these videos, pay attention to them. Guarantee, yeah, my videos on Sunday are longer than the average person's that you see on YouTube, but it's packed full of knowledge to help you on your journey. Because the stuff I talk about, there ain't nobody doing it. And I told you guys to be careful. And I showed you last week, before the market opened, I said, I ain't trusting that. Now, under normal situations, it was a perfect, pretty as my students know, a Mona Lisa setup. It was a Mona Lisa. It was a beautiful, perfect Mona Lisa setup. But I knew not to trust it. See, it was a holy grail trade setup, but I still don't trust you. And that's where some of you guys are being flawed. Your first mistake is you're tying every dream and goal to every trade. Secondly, you're on the hunt for the holy grail. It does not exist. Billionaire traders lose money in these markets too, because there is no holy grail. There's just high average winners and low average winners. So stop shopping around for the holy grail. And I'm going to get to why that's important in a few minutes. Okay, but it does not exist. Scratch that off your list, and that'll take also additional pressure, because the markets, no matter how perfect a setup is, it can be pushed further beyond its normal boundaries due to outside influence. That's why everybody who used to argue with me, I don't get that like I used to, hardly ever now, because I guess they see Uncle P was right. But I used to get talked about so bad, criticized so bad. Oh, he don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. Price action is king. Is it now? Because price action showed a double top on the daily, on the 4 hour. And it doesn't get no better than that. And yet the market blew right past those boundaries. So was I telling the truth about you might want to know a little bit about what's influencing these currency pairs, or is price action always the king? Do you get what I'm saying? Let's go to the next one. Number 3. Some of you guys, this is going to be huge. Learn the game before trying to play the game. This is a Forex game. It's the biggest casino in the world. Understand that. It is the largest. Don't think of it no other way than what I'm telling you. Because the moment you do, you're going to be making a mistake. I've been saying this for years. And people don't believe what I'm saying until it finally clicks and dawns on them. And I can understand that, because it's kind of like Uncle P, the only one on the planet saying it. That's freaking incredible. Why am I the only one saying anything about this? And it is what it is. This is the largest casino on the planet. That's the reason why when I go to Vegas, I'm really not interested in gambling. I do it for a living. I'm always gambling. That's what this is. It's a gamble. What is a gamble? Okay, a gamble is when you have odds in your favor and you place a bet because you think the odds are more towards your win than a potential loss. And therefore you place a bet on it. That's exactly what this Forex market is. Don't ever deceive yourself to think that it's anything different. And because the Forex market is the largest market in the world, it is the biggest casino on the planet. It is what it is. I have a guy who is very wealthy, very, very wealthy. And he builds systems for major corporations. I can't say any more than that. He builds systems for major corporations, and they use AI's technology to do what they do. Okay, to trade in these markets, same ones, the Forex market. Okay, and yet it's still not 100%. But they understand the game. They've learned the craft of the game and how it works. Then they go about doing build outs. Do you understand what I'm saying? For major corporations. But if they didn't have a basic understanding of these markets, there's no way they can be as successful as they are. Matter of fact, I've got to talk to them next week. See, I know traders from way up in the levels, and I know some who's just beginning. So I see it all. And I do understand the difference is that going back to foundation statement number one, watch this play out again. Because you have your hopes and your dreams tied to this market, therefore, you're not taking the necessary time to learn the market. And you're trying to build a dream off of something you really don't understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? For those who's in here, type an amen if I'm on point. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody or saying it in a way that nobody can understand. Let me give you an example, okay? Let me give you an example while y'all type that in. Thank you for your participation, by the way, okay? That's why I do live, to make sure that when I'm teaching important points that I know I'm interacting with people. Sometimes I do a pre-record, but some of these, I want to make sure that people are digesting what I'm trying to teach, especially when it comes to the psychological side of trading, because it can destroy you. I promise you, it will. So I got to make sure I'm teaching in a way that's connecting with people so that you'll really get the gist of what I'm trying to teach. Because nobody on the internet, and I've been in this business for years, I have yet to see anybody teach on this level on this stuff. Nobody. So I want to take my time and teach you guys, okay? Because this is all the stuff that's separating the professional traders from the retail. And the moment you get the psychology side of it, you begin to see things differently. And therefore you'll climb over. Okay, let me go to this. There was a guy, and I told my students about this, and I think I said something about it last week, but anyway, and I hope this guy is listening, because I'm going to repeat exactly what I said. I'm not going to say the name, but I'm going to repeat it, because you're not the only one if the person's tuning in or will be watching this later. We have thousands of people watch this later, so I'm going to say it again. This gentleman contacted me talking about, well, if I give you a certain amount of money, can you trade it for me? No, I have never done that, and I never will. My job is to educate you. And if anybody contacts you saying he's Uncle P and this is Uncle P and send me some Bitcoin and I'll trade it for you, they're a doggone, I want to say that cuss word, Jesus, hold my tongue. They're a lie. It is never going to be me. I have never done that, and I never will. Even my family members ask me, and I don't do it for even family. So let alone I'm going to start a program and start asking you to send me some money. Come on now. No, it's a scam. Anybody ever asks you for money to trade using my name, it ain't me. Okay? Don't do it. Very clear. So this person go email, oh, well, you know, if you, what if you did? And I said, no, you need to learn it. Well, then what about, well, do you have a trade copier? No, you need to learn this. Even in the signal service, yes, we give you signals, but the other half of the service is where you can attend Jenny's live class to learn how to become a professional scalper. Everything we do has some level of education tied to it, because I'm teaching you how to do this stuff on your own. And this person insisted on trying to find a way to try to make a lifetime income without trying to do the necessary work of learning. And this is the average retail trader. They want the holy grail, easy way out, and they don't know what's going on in the markets. And it takes time for you to learn the rhythms. And once you learn the rhythms, you'll be like, oh, I understand. And that's what I do in my classes. I teach them the rhythms of the markets. I teach them the certain sessions, what happens during these trading sessions. So you'll know if this is the trading session you want to focus on, then this is what you need to expect behaviorally out of these markets. If this is what you want to do, if you want to be a reversal trader, when is the best session to trade for that? I teach that in my classes so that you'll know here's the best opportunity. Now, can it happen anytime? Yes. But primarily, when does most of those reversal trades happen? Guaranteed most retail traders come in as reversal traders trying to trade at the highs and lows, and they're getting it wrong because they're getting in at the wrong time. See, because they haven't spent time. Let me give it to you like this. The markets are just like my wife, Nancy, the husband. Love that woman. When we first got together, it was a little bit rough because we didn't really know, we were friends and we knew about each other. But living together and being married is a different story because now I have to be with you all the time and I don't understand your ebbs and flows. And I'm explaining it like this because everybody who's probably tuning in to me now and later on, being in a relationship at one point or another. And you know, in the beginning, yeah, they were cute or they were handsome, but now that you have to live with this person, it's a little bit different. And now you got to get adjusted to how they, do he let the toilet seat down? You know what I mean? Does she brush her hair and leave a couple of crumbs on her sink or whatever? See, these things you didn't know when you first met them. You just knew they were cute. But now that y'all together, now you got to get to know their daily ebbs and flows. And that takes time. And the markets are no different. The market has behavioral patterns, and it takes time for you to learn these rhythms, or somebody can teach it to you. I'll get to that. But the point is, it takes a little bit of time. What is the problem with the retail traders? Because your dreams and passions are tied to it, you're not taking the time to demo trade long enough to learn the ebbs and flows of the market, to see whether what you're doing is going to work over time. Because you're too quick to try to flip an account because you've got, well, I'm trying to quit my job. Well, I'm trying to, I get it. Do you guys see why I started with number one? Do you see why I started with number one the way I did? Because it affects everything about what you're doing. You're in a rush. Last week, almost every trade I took, because I'm testing something out, almost every trade I took it on the demo account, not live. See, I'm not in a rush. If I want to know something, I'm going to demo test it. And you know where I learned that from? There's a trader who won championships, and I'm not going to say his name, but I'm a part with him too. And he won championships in Forex trading, world championships, many of them. And he said the same thing. I'm like, well, heck, if he is a world champion and he says he spent more time demo testing than actual live trades, then what does that tell you, average retail trader who goes on YouTube, sees a new strategy, dumps money into your trading account, and just go off trading live before you even tested anything? Why? Because your hopes and your dreams and your passions are tied to this market. That's why I'm suggesting take them off the table for now. Because it's controlling every mistake that rookies make. You get what I'm saying? And I ain't even going through everything. I probably won't today. I might have to do a part two. But do you guys see why I'm connecting these dots for you mentally? Okay? This is the path of the rookies. And if you don't stop it, it's not going to get better. You're just going to keep getting broker and broker and more frustrated, and depressed and depressed. Number 4, stop trusting everyone. This is this one, oh my God, I've been teaching this for how long and still people be trying to come at me. Stop trusting everyone who posts screenshots with no history of success. This is dude who demands that I do things the way he wants it done in order to prove for him to join my service. I don't want your business. If I got to kiss your behind to have you join, then something's wrong. I am a coach, not a butt kisser. Well, for me to want to join your signal, sir, well, why don't you post screenshots of what you're making? First of all, dude, that's like me asking you, before I want to do any business, you show me your bank account statements. Print your bank account. I don't know, house lender. You understand what I'm saying? Are you a loan officer? I got to keep showing. Come on, man. I've been doing videos for years, showing live trades, including last week where I told y'all what the oil market was going to do. I said some stuff beforehand and it happened. If that ain't good enough, then kiss my behind. Because what you're saying is, I want to see screenshots of money. Do you know how many screenshots are available out there that I can just screenshot anybody's account and post it and represent it as mine? You don't know whether I really did that or not. And you wonder why people are getting scammed in this business. Because again, going back to what I just said about the previous one, what was I say? They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn nothing. They just want some screenshots. Why? Because it ties into number one. When you see screenshots of thousands of dollars being made, which I do send screenshots to sometime to my team or to my kid, but I ain't gonna post it everywhere. Why? Because I don't want to establish myself as this kind of person who does the same thing that all the other scammers do. Because that's what they do. That's why I'm separating myself and doing things different. I have live classes that I teach every week. I ain't hiding. I just choose not to be like doing stuff like the scammers do, because that's what they did to scam me. Why? Because when I was convinced that my hopes and dreams is tied to this market, what was the one thing they provided? Evidence of how much you can make. So what they do is they will take screenshots. And then here I go chasing after them like they the holy grail of trading, thinking I'm going to get the same thing. And I even pay people. That's what I'm telling you. I will never do that to you. It happened to me. I gave people money talking about manage my trading account for me. And that money was gone in a matter of days. And these are the same people who are sending me screenshots in the beginning of how much money they can make. And they took my money. And this person demanding that I send screenshots for what? If my trade record ain't good enough for you, and we have hundreds of people in there, if that ain't good enough for you, then I'm not the right person for you. I'm not here to kiss nobody's behind. And I'm not going to do what the scammers do, sending a whole bunch of screenshots out there to make you think. First of all, you don't know how I got that screenshot. You don't know where it came from. Is it actually my account? Come on now. See, I'm too old for that part of the games. But the truth of the matter is, many of you guys are falling in these ditches. That's a rookie mistake. If they're worth their salt, they'll be promoting how they do things, not what they got, but how. And that's where I come in. I'm promoting how I'm doing it. That's why I told you guys. Oftentimes I tell you guys things before it happens. I told y'all beforehand that the market was going to collapse, the stock market. I even told my students in class the breakdown of how I saw the economic picture when the markets was at their all-time high. I said, how was this possible? And I literally broke it down step by step. I said, ain't no way possible that these corporations could be reporting all-time highs and success, and there's nobody at work. Businesses slowed down. They had to release employees. I said it's all due to the stimulus checks. And I said, when they start cutting them stimulus checks, start watching this market start acting funny. And that was before the war. Did I not? Yes. See, I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm not trying to show you all the fish in my basket that possibly I bought from the fisherman down the street. Stop being conned off of screenshots. If the person ain't leaning more towards what they do as a technique, don't believe the screenshots. Type of 50, if y'all understand what I'm saying. I'm helping you to not get scammed. I'm telling you this is how they do it. They provide you what feeds into your dream, not how to get there. Your dream says, oh my God, look at how much money they're making. Well, maybe I can make that too. And they play off of that. That's why they're giving you full of screenshots, but no evidence. Oh yeah, if you just work with me, I'll get you to the promised land. How? What videos have you seen of them showing live trades that they've taken or something, so you get a gist of what to expect? Stop falling for the okie doke. Professional traders, hold on. Let me give it to you like this. If I was talking to a room full of professional traders and I was doing nothing more than sending screenshots up on there, and that was the only substance I provided during a lecture, type a yes or no in the box to this question. Do you believe that professional traders who pay me to come and lecture, and all I'm doing is posting up screenshots? That's it. No substance, no how I did it, just screenshots of profits. How many of them you think will walk out of that room and say they want a refund for attending my lecture? Do you say yes, they want a refund, or no, they don't? How many of you think want money back? Say, man, this is a bunch of bull. Do you think they want their money back? Type a yes or no. There you go. See, one person said all of them want their money back. Exactly. Because professionals don't get moved by screenshots. But do you see the rookies? Rookies are always seeking people out who post screenshots. And so here's another area where I get criticized because I choose not to post screenshots. I'm spending more time showing you stuff than I am screenshotting. And so therefore I'm getting criticized. First, it was the price action only people who was attacking me, who's now blowing their accounts because of this war. Even though I told you don't trust XYZ and then actually played out exactly the way I told you. But now here's another group who says, oh, he must be a scam because he ain't posting screenshots. Even though I'm telling you that's a waste of time. You don't know whether I actually took those trades or whether I just went on the internet or Telegram channel or something else and took screenshots from somebody else's account. You don't even know. So if a person ain't talking substance, then don't believe. Because all they're doing is feeding into your what? Number one. What was number one? What was number one? Stop blaming yourself for every trade that don't work out. Why? Because your dreams and your passions are tied to it. And so what they're doing, they're feeding you based on your dreams and passions of wanting to quit your job and live in a luxury house and live and drive a luxury car. So they're feeding you all this by just simply sending you screenshots. And what it does, it triggers within your mind. Your subconscious, sub means below, okay? Your subconscious mind is holding on to that dream while your active mind is saying, okay, let's find a solution, right? And so therefore, he's feeding into that. This could be possible for me. Look at how much they made. Are you sure they made it? Or you just want to believe they made it so you can join them and fast track yourself forward to obtain that dream that you had in your head? Are you sure they made it? How do you know for sure? Stop believing screenshot people. Now, am I saying that all people who post screenshots are not truthful? No, I know some are very. Let me tell you something. And I'm almost done. I'll speed up from here. I have one of my students, he's been with me for years. He's very quiet, never says much in the group or anything else, but he sends me updates all the time, all the time. He's been with me for a couple of years. And he just sent another screenshot on Friday in the Telegram group. And I think it was around, he made about 8,000 for the week off of trades, about 8 grand, something like that. And he's in a foreign country. But see, what I did, I taught him, and he said, you remember you taught everybody about how to look at news and this and that. And see, he was saying, because of what you taught me to look for is why I'm having this success. See, I taught substance, not just screenshots. And so he sent me a proof. Hey, Uncle P, look at this. And he's so happy. And he still runs his restaurant. He has a little small restaurant out of the country. See, he ain't quit his job. And he's always been consistent. Stop falling for the okie doke. Let's go to the next one. I'm running out of time. Number 5, stop being lazy. This is a huge one. Oh my God. The average retail trader is beyond lazy. Oh my God. You have big dreams and lazy draws. Okay? You're just lazy. Not you guys, but just think of it. I'm going to say this. One of the biggest controlling sessions is going to be the London session. Now, if you stay in the UK, because we do have people all over the globe who watches this. So if you're in the UK or anywhere in that area, it's perfect trading time for you. Why? Because it's your lunchtime, right? But if you're in the US, it's hard because that requires you to do what? Get up out of your bed to go look for some opportunities sometimes. Now, is that the only market? No, that's not the only market. But I'm saying that's one of the primary markets that a lot of Forex traders, professional Forex traders trade, right? Because it's the largest market. So a lot of movement happens during the London session. I'm giving you a tip already. Okay, a lot of movement happens during the London session. So if that's what you want, then you have to get up out of the bed. And I can't tell you the number of traders who complain that they got to get out of the bed to spend a little bit of time on the charts, and then they can get back into bed. See, you're expecting the markets to cater to you. And that ain't how the game is played. If you're going to play in this game, you got to play when it says it wants to pay. Okay? Play when it says it wants to pay. Write that down. Play when it says it wants to pay. Play when it says it wants to pay. You keep trying to take these trades on your convenient time. And then by the time you wake up, them trades got blown up. And then you keep doing the same routine over and over and over again, thinking it's going to be different. Then you try a whole new strategy, looking for the Holy Grail, and it ain't different. And could it be it's because you're playing the wrong strategy, you're playing the right strategy at the wrong time? I'm going to repeat that. You're playing the right strategy at the wrong time. It's a great strategy, but you're applying it at the wrong time when the market ain't trying to go in that direction because you're too lazy to get your butt up out the bed at the time when that strategy need to be applied. You're lazy. I had somebody who criticized, well, I don't know, man. I don't know about trading because, it's when I'm asleep. Then get up. It's a sacrifice. Yes, I understand. But do you want your financial freedom or do you not? Now, again, you can trade. There's different strategies that can be applied at different times. So if you want to trade the Asian session, okay, you got to do something different because the Asian session ain't going to give that strategy ain't going to typically work during the Asian session when you are woke. But it will work perfectly, typically, if you apply it during the London session or the opening of the US. But you got to figure out its behavioral patterns and then apply it at the time when that market is willing to do it. That's just as stupid. Let me say this, and I got to be very blunt. I'm a coach. I'm your coach. So you can tune me out. You can do what you want. Go back to listening to all them other videos out there, them people who will give you all the flowers you want and won't step on your toes, won't tell you the truth, won't slap you in the face with truth. Okay? Let them go ahead and do that. Go ahead and follow their screenshots and keep on doing what you're doing. But if you want the truth, I'm going to give it to you. That's as stupid as a person who is out there surfing and they're demanding the ocean to give them the perfect wave to ride in on because they're on their surfboard. As if the ocean, as large as it is going to do what that one person said. The only person I know who was able to tell the water to calm its butt down, and it did it, was Jesus. And just because your name, and I'm not trying to be funny if you tune in, if your name is Jesus, that don't qualify. Only one person was able to do that, control the weather and walk on water that I heard about. Other than that, if you're a surfer on a surfboard, you got to try to catch the wave when it's willing to give you a ride. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You got to get on board and catch the wave when the ocean is willing to give you a good one. And your job is to wait for it. This is hard truth, I understand. But do you want what you're asking for or do you not? I can't tell you the number of lazy traders. This is why you keep going through 50 strategies and none of them are working. It ain't the strategy, it's you. You're putting it at the wrong time. And you already knew it. Some of this stuff you knew already, but you won't change your ways. And the market is just running right over you, doing what it normally does. That's why they literally call it dumb money. You have what's called smart money, and then you have what's called dumb money. Which one do you think you fitting in? I know this is hard truth, baby, but somebody got to tell you if you want help. I hate getting out of my bed too when I'm using a particular strategy. I hate to get out of the bed. Jesus knows, Lord knows I hate getting out that bed. All snuggled up to your fine wife and you got to get up out that bed. Man, oh no, I don't want to do it. But if I want the gains, I got to get up when it's willing to give it. Let's go to the next one. Number 6, stop switching trading styles every week, people. Oh my freaking God, this one fits. Oh my God. Oh my God. How many times have you switched strategies week after week after week after week after week after week after week? I ain't saying that it ain't cool to tweak strategies or test a few strategies, but you trying to make a full-time career and you keep doing the same rookie mistake, people. Here's the truth. Again, I'm sorry to be your coach, but coaches don't tell you what you want to hear. Coaches tell you what you need to hear. Here's one of the rookie mistakes that I see all the time. Number one, what did I say? Do they demo test? No, they don't. So they don't demo test and then tweak and then make small adjustments. And then it could have been the perfect strategy for you. No, you don't even give it enough time. So what happens is they go straight to a live trade, putting in $50, $100, go straight into the markets as soon as they open. Although Uncle P have been saying for years, don't ever take a trade when the market first opened within the first hour, because your broker opens up the spreads. Yes, they promote 2-3 pip spreads, but during the first hour, it can go from 5, 15, 20, even 30 pips I've seen on some of the GBP pairs, and they will open a spread up. You don't listen to that either, so you keep blowing your account. But then you try this strategy. You tried once, tried twice, you done over leverage, trying to double your account on 1 or 2 trades. You done blew your account just on the first day of the new trading week, and then you piss. Now you go look at somebody else's YouTube video. They say, oh, I got a new MACD strategy and this, or RSI strategy, or I got a new Elliott Wave strategy and this and that. And every week you keep trying something. You have never stuck to anything. You're a jack of all trades, but you have never mastered one. You never have stuck to anything. And you are so confused. Am I telling the truth? Would you like to know how I know? Because I did the same rookie mistake. I did it. That's why I can come back and talk emphatically about what I'm preaching to you guys. All this stuff, I did it too. Yes, I'm stepping on your toes because I'm your coach coming back from this treacherous journey that I went through, because the stuff I'm telling you about is what I did too. So you're not alone. I'm just telling you, stop, because it doesn't work. I love you enough to come back and confess the truth that I tried all this stuff and it doesn't work. I was making my journey worse. Me personally, I only typically have about 3 strategies, period. That's it. Because I realize you don't need all this other stuff. Because guess what? Watch this. Watch this. In the mind of a professional trader, let's go back to the theory of if I'm teaching in a classroom or in a lecture hall. I miss lecturing. I miss doing speaking engagements. God knows I miss that. If I was speaking to a room full of professional traders, would they not agree with me on this statement? The market can only do 3 things: go up, go down, and go sideways. Overall, talking about trending, the market can only do 3 things. It can go up, go down, or go sideways. Would you guys agree with me? Type a yes if you agree with that statement. I'm waiting on y'all. The few who's here and the thousands who'll be watching later. Do you agree with that statement? I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Do you agree? Okay. All right. That's what I thought too. It goes up, it goes down, and it goes sideways. It only does 3 things. So if it only does 3 things, why do you have 500 different strategies to try to figure out which one is going to work on these 3 things? Does it make sense? Do you need 500 strategies for something that only does 3 things? See, the market itself keeping the game simple. You complicating it because you don't stick to nothing. You're so freaking inconsistent. You see rookie mistakes? It's right there in your face, but ain't nobody calling you out on your bull crap. Because when you're trading, the unfortunate part about being a trader, it's just you and that computer in the midnight hour. It's just you and that computer. Nobody to tell you what to do. And that's unfortunate. Why? Because the average trader wants to be what? Their own boss. Well, welcome to the world of being your own boss. There's nobody telling you what to do. And as a result, you're destroying your career. So stop being in a rush to be your own boss, because you see you're not a good boss over yourself. You're a terrible self-manager. And nobody called you out on it. Why you got 500 strategies on a gambling machine that only does 3 things? So if you look at it from the 3 things it does, doesn't it raise your odds of being successful if you figure out I don't need all these things, because he's right, it only does 3 things. Let me get to this next one. Number 7, you hear this all the time and you know this. Stop freaking over leveraging your account. Your account don't even last a day. Why? Let's go back to number 1. Your dreams of trying to be rich from your laptop or your computer or your phone. Your problem is you're trying to go too fast. And so when you put in that $50 or $100, it don't even last through Sunday, the first day of the trading week, because you're putting too much on every trade, because you look at that trade and it looks like it's the holy grail. I don't trust any trade. We had a 14-4 trading week. Do you know in the Signals group, my first 5 trades all won, 5 in a row. And I still don't trust the market. That's the one thing I know about this thing. I don't trust anything. I don't believe you. I go for what seems to be the best setup odds, but I don't trust it. Because I know at any time news can come out and that thing can spike and just go crazy, as you see it do. So ain't no need to over leverage on any trade, because it possibly might not work out no matter how perfect it looks. So stop over leveraging on every trade. Why are you doing that over and over and over again? Even though you keep promising you're not going to do it. Why do you keep doing it? Tell you why. Because you're trying to build a financial empire. That's what you believe. You want this nice house, you want the nice car, and you want to quit your job. Therefore, every trade you keep over leveraging, trying to quickly get there. I have this, let me go back to the one student who made around 8,000, I think, last week. Do you know? I don't understand it, but this is what's do you know he has always put on 10-cent lot sizes and this and that. But what he does now every week is he just add more. He just stacks them in. Bing, 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 bing. Now, for me, I might have just increased the lot size overall. But no, he's been so consistent in his head of starting off with a 10-cent lot size. And then he built his account. Then he had 2 10-cent lot sizes. And then he had 3 10-cent lot sizes. And so he's never changed the way he's been placing his trades. He just adds an additional small lot size. He's just been doing the same thing for so long. So while you trying to rush to get to huge lot sizes, I want to place a trade with 50 lot sizes. That's fine, and nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, look at his mentality. He's still doing the same routine that got him to where he is now. Small positions. He just put a bunch of them on each one now. That's his way of being consistent. See, it's not about the money, it's about the consistency with him. And I've seen him tweak some things just a little bit here, did a little tweak in there, but overall he's been very consistent. And I've known him, he's been my student for years. Very consistent. Little tweaks, little small tweaks, but not drastic. Well, I'm gonna try this whole new strategy. I'm gonna try this whole new thing. No, that's not him. And that's why he's succeeding. PJ too, my son. That's why he's succeeding. They tweak small things, but pretty much they stick to it. You don't stick to nothing. And you keep over leveraging your account. PJ, I told you, 30 straight trades in a row, and sent me screenshots and videos, proof. And yet, he puts small amounts and withdraw his money so that he knows the remainder of what he's doing. He's playing with the house money. He doesn't care. What about you? Let me get to this one. This is the last one, and I'm done stepping on your toes, but you needed to hear this. And if you tuned in late, you guaranteed you need to hear this. Okay. And don't forget, stay a few minutes behind, because I'm going to go through certain currency pairs that you need to be careful of trading this week, because they're very, very jumpy. And this can also possibly, when I say these pairs, some of you guys are going to be thinking, oh yeah, he's right. I was trading them and I did lose several times on them. See, just stick to me. Watch this. Here we go. The last one, most important one, which I learned, get mentorship, get coaching. Let me ask you this. Any and all professional sports, besides the superstar players, what do they all have in common? All of them. They all have a coach. Whether it's football, soccer, even tennis, where you're the only person on the court, but yet when you're off the court, you had a coach. So you have somebody teaching you the ropes, teaching you the game. The truth of the matter is the average retail trader blows more money in the markets before they realize maybe I do need a coach. And then when they come at a coach, they talk about, well, how much of a bargain can you give? Did you give the market a bargain? No, you're out thousands of dollars in the markets. So whatever the coach, and again, I'm not the only coach out there. Find a coach that you feel comfortable with. I'm not a good fit for everybody because I'm very blunt. But I'm blunt because I love you. And I want you to get the real truth. But whatever it is, whoever you want to learn from, like I said, for an example, if you want to learn scalping because you really want to be a professional scalper, I can't teach you that. See, I'm a very straightforward coach. If you want to learn football, then don't go to a basketball coach to learn football. Go to a football coach. If you want to learn how to play tennis, don't go to a soccer coach. Go to you understand what I'm saying? Go to that coach. When it comes to scalping, I can't coach you on that. I know how, but I ain't a professional at that. Day trading and swing trading, y'all can do that all day long with my eye closed. But for that, you need to go to Miss Jennings. She's the #1 female trader in the world. I know of no other person on the planet who does what she does. So if that's what you want to do, you need to be coached by her, or just don't do it. But you need coaching. You need somebody to teach you the ropes. You know how many people she's helped to pass the funded challenge, the FTMO challenge? Because they learned what she was teaching. And then the funded count challenge, it was nothing to them. So she's helped a bunch of people pass that too. Why? Because that's her domain. She's a good coach. She knows what she's doing. And I've known her for years, so I know she ain't a scammer. She's very good at what she does. I can't do it. I'm telling you on camera, I can't do what she does. I know some things, but I'm not good enough to be on her level. See, I'm a coach. I know good coaching when I see it. Invest into coaching, and whether it's with us or with another company, I don't care. Just stop trying to be rich overnight and take the time to get educated first, because there's some things you just don't know. Let me give you an example, and then I'll give you guys these currency pairs and we're done. I remember when I was in school, when I was in high school, I wanted to learn how to swim. This is honest, true story. I wanted to learn how to swim. So when I got into the high school swimming pool, me, who was always the jokester, always playing around too much, just doing too much, right? So I got into the swimming pool and I'm having myself a good time, just walking through the pool. And on the first day, this is the honest God truth. On the first day, I was walking and not paying attention, and I didn't realize that for those kind of pools, they slope off into a deep end. And when I was walking and playing and goofing off, I ended up walking too far and my foot slipped and I started going under because I didn't know it was a dip underneath there. See, I'm good. I can dance around as long as my feet are touching. But I went too far. My foot slipped because it started sloping downwards towards the deep end and I didn't know it. Because when I'm standing on top looking in the pool, it looks flat all the way across. See, I didn't know. I wasn't coached. So from my eyes, it looked like it was just a straightforward thing. Didn't know it sloped down into 8 feet. And I darn near drowned on my very first day. But then my coach, a white lady, my coach, she taught me everything about swimming. And do you know, before the semester was over, I became an assistant swim coach. Why? Because after I got taught how to swim, I was able to teach others. And I still go swimming all the time to this very day. Because of what she taught me years ago, that knowledge she gave me, still to this very day, years and years and years later, I'm still using what she taught me because she was a good coach and she taught me not to kill myself in the pool. You see the benefit of having a coach. That's the reason why when you buy the Simplicity system, I don't charge for my classes. I just want to coach you, but we have to be using the same system so I can teach you. You can't be coming with, well, I used the Don't You On channel. Well, I used the Elliott Wave theory. Well, I used it. Okay, that's cool. Go on to where they are. Right? If you want to do 50 strategies, go find 50 coaches. But you have to learn what I do with the system I use. That's the reason why I just purchased the system. And then the classes, I've been doing it for years for free. I don't mind coaching you, but we just have to use the same tools. You can't be using a hammer and I'm using a screwdriver and I'm teaching you how to turn the screw and you're trying to bang it with a hammer. See, we're not on the same page. Get a coach. Okay. All right. That's enough of that. Let me give you the currency pairs and then we're done because I'm actually 7 minutes over. Couple of pairs. Number one, the AUD. All right. To my signals group. That is the reason why. And oh my God, I was so pissed about that. When I got that chart up right here, it was a perfect Mona Lisa 415 setup. I sent out a signal on Thursday night, going into Friday for AUD Swiss. And that trade went within 2 or 3 pips. But see, watch this. 2 or 3 pips before bouncing back up. And I fell asleep. See, that's what happens. I get it. Fall asleep. But it was right. I was so accurate on that one. But will it go back down? I think it will. But watch this. I still said, instead of saying, hey, let's hold it over the weekend, what did I say? Let's go ahead and close that one on out. Why? Here's the reason why. Because AUD, write this in your notes, the AUD is constantly going up well beyond its normal structure. It has. Now, I don't know what it's going to do this week, but it has gone far beyond its normal structure because it's one of the beneficiaries of this war. As gold prices are climbing, so is the AUD, because the AUD is tied to gold. So as the gold prices keep climbing, so is the what? AUD. It's being influenced because of the war. The next one, please be very careful. Write this down. Don't say Uncle Pete didn't tell you. The next one, I see some good setups, but I ain't going to trade it a lot. Okay? Because 2 of our 4 that we did lose, we only lost 4 trades. We won 14 trades and only lost 4. 2 of those that I look at, because I always look at which ones did we lose. 2 of those, and we took them at separate times, but the point is 2 of those, they have great setups, and I'm not telling you not to take them when you see them. But if they don't work out, it's okay. It's nothing personal. And that's the CAD. The Canadian dollar is also tied to oil. Okay, so when the oil markets are fluctuating, so is the CAD. Okay, that's the reason why I go on your charts and you see on Friday, the CAD pairs, and I believe it was Thursday or Friday, the CAD pairs shot up. There was just some big gun shooting, boom, big candles on Friday on the CAD. Okay, so be careful when you trade the CAD. The next one is the dollar, the USD. Okay, the USD. It normally moves with a nice smooth rhythm that you can kind of follow along with. But right now, due to the war, it's kind of fluctuating quite a bit. Okay? Are you hearing me? The euro and the GBP, they're having a tough time gaining ground. Why? Because their currency or their economy is being impacted by this Russian war, because they were getting a lot of their energy from Russia. And now, because of these sanctions and going back and forth, it's going to do nothing but hurt what? Their economy. So therefore, their economy, and let me kind of show you guys this. I know you can barely see it from here, but sometimes you get some reversals. And I even told you, that's so cool. You know what? Truth is, I even told y'all this last week, live on the video. I said that there may be some bounces on these pairs, Euro AUD, Euro NZDs, and this one. I told you guys that last week. And look what happened. It actually did. It bounced back. But I said, don't trust it 100% to keep going all the way and recover. Okay? I told you this on video in advance. Why? Because you have no choice but to pay attention to what's influencing the markets. They're not acting normal. So what is influencing it? This war, and it's carving out a bad pattern for it. And so I told you, if it does pull back, take the trades. But I said, don't trust it 100% to keep going up. So be careful of when you're trading the Euro and the GBP, because they have been falling down because it's that currency is being impacted by what's going on with the war. So almost every pair is being impacted. The NZD has been acting a little funny. Get what I'm saying? So truth be told, the global markets as a whole, are in chaos. So what should you really do? I've named off a couple of pairs that really stands out to me. The CAD is going to be one I trade lightly. The Euros and the GBPs, yes, if they pull back up and give, a nice trade to the upside, that's cool. But do I trust it 100%? No. Until I know that this war is subsiding and their economy is going to be stabling out, I don't believe the strength of their currency is going to keep going. It could pull back down and retest some bottoms. I don't know the future, but I'm just telling you ahead of time what I see possible. I don't trust any of these. I don't trust them. So don't over leverage on any trades, but those are the ones that really gives me concern. The biggest ones of all, the USD, CAD, and the AUD to the downside, because it could pull right back up again. Okay, that's why I didn't hold it over the weekend. Normally, if the markets were normal, and heels were frustrating. Oh my gosh. And let me say this, you guys, because see, normally if I'm woke and I was just tired, I work, insane, because this new add-on software is going to benefit so many people. It's going to give you a better view of what you're looking at. So, and I apologize for the delay, but it should be next week. Okay. But here's the deal. After I fell asleep, the AUD Swiss went within 1 to 2 pips of our take profit. And normally when I'm woke, I can look at it and say, okay, guys, it's stalling out right here, close it out. And we would have been up 36 pips. Then it turned around and shot back up, and we still took some small profit on it, because I told you, hey, just close it out, take what we got, and we can always re-enter. But I didn't want to hold it over the weekend because of this war. This war could push it over the weekend to where it jumped up, and we would have took that thing for a loss. So that's the reason why I said, hey, let's just close it out, right? Money, all money is good money to me. So yeah, we didn't make the 36 pips, but we did make some pips off of it, all right? So it's cool. So what I'm saying is, I don't trust these markets long enough to hold and start doing certain things if it's reversal trades. If you're trading with the trend, I trust that trend, because so far it's been, hey, if they crashing and they ain't got a substantial reason to turn around, then I'm going to trust the trend that it's in. Are you guys understanding? I'm going to trust the trend that it's in. In other words, let's say a person normally has money, they're doing good, but now they're hitting a hard time or hitting a bad stride or bad luck, right? So that means their house is going under foreclosure, their car is potentially going to be repossessed, and all these different things. So do you believe that this person is trending upwards or downwards? You would say they're trending downwards in their life. Why? Because the economy is crashing, whatever. There's something that impacted and interrupted their normal flow of making money, right? And so therefore, they're on a trend downwards. So now if they get a stimulus check and says, oh yeah, I got money, that's great. But do you think that one stimulus check is going to change the trend overall that they're on that's heading down, which is losing their house and their car off of one stimulus check? No, it was a temporary bump up. But until they correct, until they get everything stabilized, I still think they're on a downward projection. Do you understand that? Now, if they get a new job that's paying them a lot of money, now their personal life's trend, and I'm saying it like that because some of you guys, this happened to you as it happened to me years ago. So let's keep the story real. So if you're on a downward trend until you get a new job or some new source of income, then you're still going to be trending downwards. Even though you might get a little check here, somebody might have loaned you money, and temporarily you came up out of the pit. But overall, it still stayed on a downward trend. But now this new company hired you, they're paying you good money and this and that. Oh my, doesn't that change the trend of your life? Now your life is trending which way? Back up again. So the influences on the outside is impacting what's happening on the inside. And that's going on with these currencies. They're not just moving of their own accord. They're being influenced because of the war. And until the war is stabilized and then things get back to normal, I think that, yeah, they may have some temporary pullbacks, but they're possibly going to go right back down into their normal trend, which is currently, for some of these pairs, heading down. For other pairs, it could be heading up. Now, there are going to be pullbacks and reversals and this and that in between. There's going to be periods of that. So yes, it's going to be great opportunities, but I'm just simply telling you, just be careful when you're trading because these markets are completely out of order and they're in chaos because of the war. Okay? If that was helpful, please type a 50 in the box. I just want to make sure I'm helping you guys. Because some of these, you've been trying to reversal trade on them and getting smashed. Now you understand why. It had nothing to do with your setups. It had to do with the markets themselves are under the influence of this war and they're not acting normal. Okay, so trade carefully. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm 17 minutes over my hour. Thank you guys for attending. And for my students, I will see you in class on Tuesday. Talk to you Tuesday.